Welcome back to the Sword of Truth podcast, the chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sword of Truth series with a super respectful craft brew on the side.
Aw.
I'm Jade, and I'm here with Nate and Aaron. And today, we are laying out a blanket for chapter 31 of Soul of Fire.
Well, thank you, Jade, for introducing me so nicely, and thank you to all of the listeners for letting me take up just a little bit of their time this week. I appreciate all of you, and I'm just super thankful to be here.
You know what, buddy? Thank you for being thankful for that, because, I do put a little effort into this, and I think that, but I'm just super thankful that I think we're about to have a picnic, because there's a blanket.
That sounds wonderful. And you know what? Thank you for thanking me for thanking the group, because that's just a super polite thing to do.
And thank you, Jade, for putting up with this current bullshit.
You're welcome. I wasn't forced into doing it or anything, or convinced that I really needed to be kind to anyone or anything. It's coming truly from my heart, I promise.
Did you want the blanket?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I don't
Or
think
whatever.
she does. Or whatever!
Yeah. That's today's moment of truth, I think. So, on the last episode, we all got pretty frustrated with Richard, I think.
Yeah.
That's about the long and short of it. Dew had some words for him. He had some words back for her. And Kaylin took off with Dew, and we found out that the BTM had some deaths themselves. So, yeah. And now we're here.
Yeah, anyone who's not Midwest nice frustrates me. And Richard wasn't Midwest nice.
He wasn't any kind of nice.
Honestly, that's what I'm saying. I know Midwest nice is like a higher standard because people from the Midwest are better than everyone else. But
Are we, though?
yes, ask me.
I know people's...
No, the great thing about Midwest nice is it feels real nice, but it's not.
Oh, that's why.
It doesn't have to be sincere. That's why it's great.
Yeah.
That's why we like it.
Intentions horrible. Deeds lovely.
So the wives are back from their little chit-chat.
Mm-hmm.
And Kaylin tells Richard to bring Dew a blanket.
Good.
He's like, why the fuck should I do that? Why does she need a blanket or anything? And Kaylin's like, just fucking do it. When you're going to insist somebody submits to your will, it is accomplished most easily if you give them a small victory that they can retain some of their dignity. Let her retain some dignity in this moment, motherfucker. Especially considering, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. It's fine.
I love the short version of this. She's a person. Just do it, Dickard.
Yeah. She's pregnant. She's been walking for a long time.
Yeah.
Give her a goddamn blanket.
Hey, chill the fuck out.
Can someone correct me if I'm wrong, but like less than 10 pages ago, did Richard not say, I trust Kaylin's judgment?
Judges?
Yeah, he said that.
Sure fucking did.
Spoiler alert, he did. I read it in the book.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, now he doesn't, though. The only time Richard acts consistently is when he's disrespecting other people's culture.
Well, now it affects him.
Yeah.
She proves it to him, though. She's like, okay, you know what? I'll carry it if you get it. And then he's like, oh, okay. And she's like, ha! Gotcha! Proved it. Actually, you're carrying the blanket because you're a big boy.
You're just being petty right now, and
Yeah.
I just showed it to you.
Eat one.
Yeah, and that's even his thing is like, oh, she gets a small victory, but I don't. Dude, are you 10?
Yeah.
Come on, man. You are supposed to be the leader of 2/3 of the landmass I'm aware of at this point. You can't fucking do this shit.
I feel like Kaylin, because we decided Kaylin might have a secret owner of dog powers over the chimes and be able to be like, hey, stop it. Or, hey, knock it off. And that might just work. I feel like it's worth a shot.
Yeah, it is. I also feel like, back to the, are you 10?
I'm 10 and a half, to be fair.
Yeah, I know I'm being
Come on.
disrespectful to 10-year-olds,
Not
but
a child.
Why are you so against her? She didn't do anything. So I don't understand why he is so head buddy with her in this moment instead of just being like, okay, I get we're in a tough situation, but you didn't ask for it either.
Yeah, the situation that Dew found herself in, firstly, had something to do with the fact that you needed to get through a place. She didn't choose that. She didn't want that for herself, but that was it. Then you got thrown into a situation where you had to act or possibly die. That is neither one of your fucking faults, and that can be okay. But Richard being so combative and so assholey and childish about the fact that she's just here
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
Richard, when they first met, got her to change her way of thinking multiple times, showing that Duchailu is open to having discussions about, like, from other people. Now Duchailu's coming back to Richard saying, hey, I have something to tell you now. And he goes, la, 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 la.
Yeah,
You're
because-
just dumb. I don't need to listen to you. I don't respect your culture.
When last they left, they were on, in Richard's mind, good terms.
Yeah.
Everything was
He
sizzling.
Yeah, he gave him back their homeland.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And she kept a baby.
So he's like, what could you possibly be upset about?
Well, I'm like, what could he be upset about? Like,
Yeah.
she just showed up here. Big fucking deal. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Caitlyn is like, don't continue a war you've won just to make opponents' humiliation more crushing. Basically, like, you already won the war. Just fucking chill out.
I
Don't be
mean-
such a dick.
When she puts it that way, it does sound fun, though.
Yeah, but it makes you a dick, is
Ti-
the point.
Oh, no,
time
I
and place.
agree.
There's a time and place for it.
Yeah.
This is not one of those times
Feels
or
good
places.
to think about, not good to do.
No,
yeah,
no.
yeah, it's fine.
But they both claim that Dew was out of line and didn't understand, like, the gravity of the situation. And I just didn't understand where she was actually out of line.
Mm-hmm.
This may be unrelated, but I just kind of wanted to point out the parallel of watching Richard in this here situation against Zed back in Dead of Bones, where this humble girl came to him in the midst of his chaos, and he, after a time, made her feel like he was just listening to her. Richard is not fucking capable of that. And that's very clear in this moment. Like, Dew is Abby in this situation to Richard, and he is not treating her with the same grace.
No. Yeah, absolutely.
I just thought that was interesting as all.
It
I was
is.
like, oh, you handle shit differently than
much
the
differently.
wiser wizard probably would.
Especially for somebody who constantly says, come to me with your thoughts, your ideas, if I'm wrong, tell me.
I want to be approachable. You're not acting like it.
No.
Yeah.
Caitlyn also apparently, during their little conversation, threatened her. Because
Mhm.
Richard straight asks her, did you threaten her? And Caitlyn's like, yeah. And her ears are probably sore because I chewed her out in some way. And I'm just like, first of all, again, back to your point last one, I would love to hear what their conversation was, because why?
Yeah. With what?
What
Threatened her with what? And why? What was what was Kaylin's POV to, like, well, I need to threaten her because.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take her out off to the side and go set her right and tell her she needs
Yeah.
to talk to you,
Yeah.
or else, and like shoot her out for being a person and existing before
Yeah.
me. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is your problem?
I could see where it's like, hey, there is a little bit of like, that's my man. Please don't come up saying that my man is your man.
And he's the leader of the free world. Don't talk to him. But
Yeah, but this is there's so much more going on here. And even then, I don't know that's worth threats.
The thing is, Nadine and Duchailu are throwing around a lot of the same words, but Nadine went about it in a different
Yeah.
way. So I
Yeah.
think Kaylin's already on the defensive because of that. Because Dew is coming in and saying, hey, husband,
Yeah.
married, got this baby. And she's going, oh, fuck no to that. But Dew's not coming in with the same, he's mine or I'll get him eventually attitude. She's just like, look, this is just the old ways of what they say. Yes, the words are triggering, but hear what she's saying.
and her vibe, I mean, like Nadine's vibe was like hard eyes. Look at my titties. I'm gonna get my
Right.
man type. And
Dew is not fucking in love with Richard, and
Yeah.
it's clear.
yeah, Dew's saying the words, but she's also like, yeah, I'm carrying a baby, and honestly, you're my husband by the old law, but I got like 7 of them. I don't need this one.
I mean, it's very clear that Richard and Kaylin are angry at each other, but instead of being angry at each other, they're putting it on Dew. Because Dew is just saying, like, hey, here's what happened. And again, from my perspective, which we never get, didn't do anything wrong. It just so happened to be that Richard happened to take actions that led to the, like you were just kind of saying, more so just the title of husband.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it wasn't a marriage really person. It was just like, it's more of like title, I think. But Kaylin's mad at Dew because Dew is saying Richard is her husband, but he is by her standard, you know? And it's like, instead of being mad at Richard for not telling her about Do, for not thinking this is important, for constantly keeping stuff behind Kaylin's back, she's mad at Do.
Yeah.
And so it goes back to, so why is she threatening Do?
Yeah, because
Do hasn't done anything wrong.
Why would Do know anything about the chimes?
Or Nadine.
She had nothing to do with any of that before this whole thing where I understand you have other shit going on, but goddamn, man.
They just need therapy.
Yeah, for real. So Richard makes a show of smoothing the grass and laying the blanket for Do and telling
being
her
nice.
Yeah, telling her words are important. Please come sit with me. And when she sits, he thinks that she looks almost noble. He guesses that she is, you know, in some kind of way. And when he actually thinks back at it, she's always kind of had this noble air about her. And even when she was like naked and chained, and I hated that whole fucking chunk of that chapter, because I was like, yeah, she looks fucking noble because she is. And that is why do you even need to point that out, even in your own brain?
I love the idea, and this is a spoiler for, well, not really a spoiler. I'm not going to spoil anything, but the people who know that Do Chilu, you're fine. Yes, earmuffs, Aaron, outside the headphones. Do Chilu had a spirit about her, and that even though she was naked and in chains on a floor somewhere, dirty, pregnant, and being abused, she had a spirit about her.
Yes.
And that is significant because it doesn't matter where you're coming from. That can be in a person, and Do had that. And so when Richard's being passive and shitty, it just kind of strikes me because at one time you looked at Do and went, you know what? I respect you. I see you, and I'm going to help you.
Yeah.
And he's just not giving that same vibe now. He's just angry because she's apparently pregnant and in need.
Yeah, and I think that's why it frustrates me, is because he even has that, like, you did see that when you knew her before.
Yeah.
And now
you guys have been through some shit together.
Yeah, and
Richard.
For some reason, it's taking her sitting down and sitting a certain way for you to go, oh, she looks noble, and to realize that she is fucking noble. Like, you don't just, she is.
It's not noble in a weird way. It's like, no, she is.
Why are you looking down at her? You are looking down at her since she's been here. That's what that told me. Ugh. So Richard has decided that her gift has some fucking shit to do with primitive forms of prophecy. Since she was chained and bit him back when she first fucking met him, obviously she can't use magic to outwardly affect people, but we know that she can prevent people from using it against her.
Yeah, Sister Verna tried to do fucking like little tests to her, and they all failed. Mm-hmm. And Verna told Richard that she thought Do was aware of that. There's something magical about Do. It's just like, yeah, where does that come from?
She makes him ask about her people at this point, and he looks, instead of just fucking talking to her like a person, looks over at Caitlin, who rolls her eyes and nods. Yes, Richard, indulge the girl, right?
Very dismissive, very disrespectful.
Yeah.
I mean, this is for sure how you want leaders of free worlds to act. Dismissive and disrespectful to the people they're in charge of.
So Richard goes into thanking her for keeping the kid. Though it is a big responsibility, he is positive that it is bringing a whole lifetime of joy, and the kid's going to be so rewarded by her teachings. And I just think that is such a lovely, flowery way to downplay being forced, basically, to raise your rape baby. So I just think that that's so nice of him to do that to her. And then he also implies that his words weren't as important as her own heart in keeping the baby. He's the Caharan, though. You're the most important person in fucking hundreds of years to her people, and you told her that she should keep this baby. You don't think that weighs more heavily than her trauma? Mm-hmm. You don't think that she went, my trauma is a lot, but you said that I need to do this, and this is important, so I should do it?
Saying your opinion when you don't have any power is harmless in most cases.
Yeah.
Saying your opinion when you have a lot of power, I know it is naive, But with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
You can't really make an offhand comment when you have the power to affect other people's lives, either positively or negatively. Everything you say will be taken as important.
And it wasn't exactly an offhand comment. It was more
No.
like a barrage of convincing the whole time they were together.
I don't recognize you telling me that I am now important. So ignoring that important bit of information, you should do this. That is wildly different than a stranger walking past you in the street going, hey, you should do this. Nah, I don't need to listen to you. Yeah, this isn't a great look.
Yeah, I know everybody might have their own opinions about that, and I encourage you, go ahead, share them with us. I would love to hear them. I know I have strong opinions about how that went. It made me feel bad. I don't like it. So that's my thoughts on that. He does say he is sorry she had to leave her babies to come here to talk to him, and he knows that she wouldn't have done so if that weren't an important thing. So he is giving her his kindness in that way. He does say in there that he actually didn't have to stretch for that one because he did actually believe that.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Richard didn't have to try to sound sincere because he truly was. Yes, after he got his wife's rolling eye permission to do this thing. That was for sure truly sincere. Just because it's written is for sure true now. No, man, these actions do not speak these words. You can't tell me after the fact that he was truly sincere. He was not.
No.
That's wrong.
So since it's really sad that she had to leave her babies, I think that we should all take a moment and sit on a blanket and reflect on that with a beer. So I think we're going to go do that. And we'll be back right after this.
Nate, what are we drinking today?
Today we are drinking Vibe. Oh, I fucked it up. It's terrible. Oh, I killed the vibe.
Oh, I buffed it.
You buffed it.
Oh, shit ass.
Oh, I fucking
shit.
buffed it, dude.
Oh, shit ass. I buffed it. Oh.
I know exactly how to read this beer. Oh, I buffed it, dude.
You know what? That's what's up. We can make small mistakes and it's fine and just laugh it off because the vibe is good here. And today we are drinking Vivacious Double IPA. A year-round drinker clocking in at 9%. Keep the vibes right and the mood bright with a remarkably smooth double IPA packed with feel-good hop character. It does come in at 40 IBU for the bitterness rating. So I am looking at you, Jade. Curious to what you think. I will add quick that this pairs with barbecue chicken wings, mozzarella sticks, and street tacos. Aaron, will you do the honors?
I didn't get it all over my computer either this time.
Fantastic. You held it way higher.
Listen, every time I sniff an IPA, I can smell it. You know what I mean? This one, you can't smell it that much. And I was like, intrigued. I took a sip. My face didn't do the thing. Intriguing. It's not bad.
It's very intriguing. And long story short, not bad.
So what you're telling us, Jade, is if it's just a regular IPA with only a certain amount of hops in it, they taste like shit. But if they go full hop, double IPA, as bitter as it gets, you're like, yeah, no, you know what? That's not bad.
It's not all double IPAs, because I've had those before. This is not that bad. This is unique.
It is interesting. There are 3 types of hops in this: Apollo, Cashmere, and Citra. But there are also 3 types of malts in this: a 2-row base malt, wheat, and oat.
It's a cashmere.
So that's probably why it's smoother.
I never, if this was a blind taste test, probably wouldn't. Because I don't actually know that much about beer profiles and all that, but I would have never guessed this was a double IPA. This is surprisingly smooth for a 9% double IPA.
Weird?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. It's intriguing.
Oh, it's intriguing.
You got a number to that
Yeah,
intrigue?
I am so curious what number you're going to put on this.
I think it's like 8 dick vibes.
Whoa,
Wow.
8?
Yeah.
I thought maybe 6 would be great.
I thought
7
I was
on
gonna
a great day, but
Damn.
wow.
Hell yeah, buddy.
I am intrigued.
We can be IPA drinking buddies today.
Holy shit, we found one!
I mean, Nate, you might want to have a surprising sound effect ready for this one because I'm just going to go right out front and say my rating first. I'm giving this a 7. That's right, folks.
What?
An IPA lover, am rating this 1 point less than what Jade, not a fan of IPAs, is rating this.
Well, maybe that tells you that it doesn't taste like an IPA, right?
It's not IPA enough for me.
Oh my god.
It's just a little bit below that power bottom that I'm looking for out of an IPA.
Oh man, I
It's
like
a little
it.
too soft.
I like it.
It's a soft bottom. That's a 7 for me, dog. It's
Ain't-
good though.
Ain't
It's
nothing
good.
wrong with a soft bottom.
I agree. But I am also going to give this 8.
Hell
I
yeah.
am not as into IPAs as Aaron, so I think it's fucking hilarious that the double IPA is like, no, it's not as good, and we go up a little bit.
Yeah, man.
This is incredibly smooth.
Hey,
I
Great
would take
Lakes,
this
good
down
job.
the river happily.
Good job. Oh, it's probably a bad idea though. It's a 9%er, so you're probably gonna get fucked up. You gotta drink that at the beginning of the river.
As established, I'm the captain on the river. I get 2 of these when we start, and then that's all I get for the
you
trip.
can't drink towards
Yeah.
the end because that's where you.
I get to
yeah.
get drunk later at the campground when I have no responsibilities anymore.
I do just want to establish the reason I've been saying dick vibes is because the reason that we picked this one out is it's vivacious, and Richard is giving dick vibes this whole episode.
Yeah.
And so that just made sense to me in my brain, and now I'm happy about it.
I very much enjoy that the beers we've been doing lately have been themed to the chapter. It is quite nice that
That's
you guys
awesome.
have been doing that. Full disclosure, that ain't from me. That ain't me. I am wonderfully surprised by these every time these last few weeks. You guys are doing a great job.
Been trying, thanks. All right, now we're gonna try to finish the episode. See you there. Hey guys, so Dew's not content with this bullshit, and Richard is patiently playing her game. Now I am rolling my eyes because I don't think it's that much of a game. I think it's just her wanting common decency in a conversation. But okay, Richard, let's play the game.
Mm-hmm.
He asks how the BTM fare now in their homeland. She smiles. She says they're great, thanks to you, Richard. But you know what? We could talk about that later. She literally just wanted the fucking gesture, you asshole.
Yeah. Can you just please even just pretend to be nice to me?
Pretend to
Just-
give 2 shits,
Yeah.
okay?
Pretend to be civil.
I had hoped for more, but I will settle for the pretend.
Yar who yar.
You delivered my people, your people,
Mhm.
from the swampland to paradise. And can you just maybe act like that was a big deal to you for like 2 seconds and ask how that's gone? Maybe.
It would be nice if Richard treated these people the same way he treats Daharans now.
Or mud people, even.
Or mud people. He helped, he came in, he helped them, he saved them, protected them from otherworldly threats. He did the same thing for everyone. But for whatever reason, Richard just refuses to extend this same behavior towards Duchailu's people.
And so at this point, she does note the absence of his sword and is upset about it immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The sword was your whole thing, my guy.
Like,
What the
same.
fuck are you doing?
like same.
Yeah.
Got your
Understandable.
knife in the first book, forget your sword in the 5th. What are you even really
Yeah.
heroing if you don't have your sword?
Or any sword, whatever.
How dare you throw shade at me and come here without your sword? Richard with the sword.
But he's done playing the game now.
In the left corner. Richard's ready to go now.
Yeah. So he tells her that he was on his way to go fucking get it, and the less time they sit around on a good travel day, the better. He means no disrespect, but he wants her to get the fuck on with it. So Dew, at this point, she is happy with the respect, but she starts looking unsure of herself when she tells him that she had a troubling vision of him. That's why she came all the way over here.
Mm-hmm.
He is, in turn, an asshole about it and says, don't want to hear about it because prophecy.
Good for you. Don't care.
Yeah. I think he literally says that. Good for you.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry. I will read the direct quote. Good for you. But I don't want to hear it. That's it. That's the response.
You traveled all the way here to tell me about it.
Now, granted,
Don't give a fuck.
I'm not surprised at all. We all know Richard hates prophecy. And then this type of like, I don't have free will about my future thing. I'm not surprised by this response at all.
I just feel like before Jagang, fine. I get it. You don't want prophecy. You don't want it to change what you're going to do. That makes sense, actually, to me. You want to be a free bird. But in a world where you are fighting an emperor who can freely move about in people with magic's mind, that would also be Du Chailu, and inhabit their mind in such a way to give them visions and make them hear his voice, when people come to you and say, Richard, I've been having fucking visions, pay the fuck attention.
Yeah.
Because that is the main bad guy's number one tactic right now.
Never thought about that. Great point.
Just all of this other shit aside, if Richard really wants to play the 10,000 foot view, he needs to pay attention to everything that's happening within context of this. Even if he thinks she's just being silly, sit and listen to her. If she says darlin' even one time, kill her now. That's all I'm saying. Like, don't. It would be bad and probably set off some more shit, but
he can take him. He took him before. He can take him. No, he doesn't have the sword.
Spook him out somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not kill her, but then you know she's compromised and there's another situation.
Well, we've been through something similar before. This is where you can curb stomp their tibia and, make it so they can't run away at least.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Take a page out of Harry Potter's book.
Yes.
Yeah.
As
or whatever.
Famously did to,
Yeah, or whatever.
I just also think I understand not wanting prophecy because you don't want it to influence, but we know magic is real. We know that prophecy is actually a thing in some way. Like, it may not come about the way you think it does, but it does come about in some way. And knowledge is power, my guy, right?
Yeah, like, I just don't see why he would deny more information.
Yeah, you're the seeker of truth.
That's his whole thing.
When you you don't have all the information about what's happening in the world, you're going to deny yourself more information? That seems so short-sighted. But I digress.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, she said the thing.
I've never been prouder.
Do feels that visions help. And, by the way, you're on fucking fire in my vision, dude, okay? He makes a flip comment about how he's dreamt of flying when he can't fucking fly. And she's like, yeah, but you can fucking burn.
You can burn for sure. And also, I would argue that you might be able to fly if you just jumped off a cliff and found the fuck out, Richard. Because your magic deals with need. Fucking try me.
Yeah, man, if you need to fly, you might be able to.
Straight up could. You are essentially Superman. You get to develop your own powers based on what it is you have to do. Secondly, real quick, Du is trying to convince Richard that visions are worthwhile. Well, we already know that Richard and Kaylin put a lot of fucking stock in the Richards of the Mud People. In the dicks of the Mud People, there are visions. No. Richard and Kaylin already put a lot of stock in the visions of the Mud People when they went to talk to their ancestors. Is it real magic? Are they just tripping balls? Who knows? But it was useful.
Yeah.
So don't downplay this shit because it could be important, actually.
Didn't he give Warren?
I win.
Didn't he give Warren the benefit of the doubt at times too?
Yeah.
I can't remember specifics right now, but it's another example of
Warren not even fully understanding what it was that was happening to him quite yet.
And also, you're talking about your fucking dreams of flight. You have flown, my guy. You've been in the air, my guy. You've been on a dragon that you fucked. We all know it. So let's just skate right past that. How about that?
Would argue that if you are in contact with a dragon who you could call and then take you for a flight, you could tell somebody that you can fly.
Yeah, transitive property.
Right.
I can sit on a dragon. Dragon can fly. Therefore, I can fly.
Flight via dragon.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you have a dragon? Then you can't fucking fly.
But he can. So,
But I can.
Yeah.
Also felt like a weird example, seeing as the example we just gave, or the instance just last chapter, where we talked about how a chime made one of the BTMs want to fly.
I feel like we're doing the thing, though, now where Richard's not paying credence to what she said. And she just said that Richard was burning it on fire, and we're
roasting him.
about it. Like,
We're roasting him.
We just did. Guys, I think it's important to recognize greatness. And Jade, well done.
I mean,
cleverly played and well done.
Do we just finalize this now? You and I can go. We're not needed here.
No, it's very obvious who's in charge here.
Who does all the heavy lifting here?
It's got to be her.
So, Richard does establish that is all there was to the vision. It was just him burning, basically. No information about where or when or how.
Just me on fire.
Him
Great.
on fire. So he goes, cool, thanks, bye. Hey, tell your people, the Caharan said, have a great day. I believe it.
Caharan out.
Yeah, actually, I am absolutely going to say that he winked and gave her the finger guns.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. That's what it felt like.
Hey, Caharan, have a great day.
Peace be, I'm out.
She looks like she has more to say, but she seems to just be upset at the vision because she's like, it was scary. He's like, it was pointless. This is fucking pointless what you're talking about right now. And his response is to her being like, I was scared to see the Caharan on fire. I didn't like to see the Caharan on fire. It's like, I didn't want to be on fire either. I don't like that either.
Look at us finding common ground.
Yeah, but it was just so dismissive to me.
Yeah.
It was just such a dick vibe where she was like, it scared me to see you on fire. And he's like, it would scare me too.
Yeah, obviously being on fire is bad, Duchailu. What of it?
Yeah, which, like, instead of just being like, I understand that would be scary for you. I can understand why you came. Like, not even an ounce of him trying to be like, oh, I understand why you may have come then, seeing me on fire being the most important person to your people. I understand you. Wow, this is crazy. No, he's like, so what? I don't give a fuck.
When you regularly deal with people like Shoda, who see visions of things that are kind of abstract, but it's like, yeah, but it might actually come to pass in a different way.
Yeah.
This should not be a totally foreign concept to
Carry
you.
a fire extinguisher, my guy.
Yeah. And furthermore, like you said, she sees Richard on fire. She comes to check that he's okay. That also 100% tracks. But furthermore, she didn't want to see him on fire.
Yeah.
I was concerned for you, Richard. I was scared for you, Richard. And if you are supposed to be the emperor and I'm the leader of these people, maybe show a little fucking concern for that.
Right.
But instead, this is Richard's attitude. He responds, okay, do you know how I can avoid being on fire? She says no. Direct quote. You see? What good is it then? That's his response to her traveling all this way and trying to help. It's just absolute lack of any sort of sympathy or empathy here.
It kind of feels a lot like how our fathers react to us when we tell them about D&D and Magic the Gathering things, where they just blank face look at us and go, huh.
Yeah, all right.
And then that's it.
Richard can tell, though, that she has something else going on, right? It's not just her upset, which should have been enough, but it's not just that. So he does thank her eventually for the fucking warning, just in case it may help, which it fucking might, you dickbag.
Yeah, there is no such thing as bad information. Information is information. It is how it is applied. So it's like, Richard, you've been given information. That's it. That's the end of it. We're good. We don't need to keep doing shit.
Spoiler.
Earmuffs.
Later book.
Wait, real earmuffs or fake earmuffs?
He won't remember. Later book. Prophecy about a fire happening. And it's important to pay attention if someone says something might get caught on fire.
Oh.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Is this a lurk situation?
No.
Okay. I'll hang on to that.
This is like...
I think I know what you're talking about. I'm not sure. We will have to get together.
Other
on
words
that.
for prophecies? Anyways.
We'll talk under the table later.
Yeah. Let's go. Okay. Are your earmuffs off?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, you heard that, huh?
Unfortunately.
Sorry, kid.
Richard realizes that Dew found him through the bond and asks how the fuck they got here specifically, because they were in Adendrill just a few days ago. So if he was being found by the bond, that's where she should have been being directed. And she knew that that's where he was, but the visions told her that she needed to get to him and where she needed to go to find him. So that's why she knew to go here as opposed to going straight north.
Yeah, because it's the if she would have started her journey when she's claiming she did, that was prior to a sliff travel.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like Richard was in two wildly different locations, and so
Yeah.
for her to be like, wait, hold on, I like this. This
Yes.
is Richard being the seeker of truth.
Yes.
This is him going, wait a minute, this is a little too convenient,
He
and I
figured
enjoy
out-
that part of this small portion. This was a nice bright light in a wild sea of frustration.
He figured out, using logic, how she managed to pull an Angelina Jolie.
Curve the bullet.
She curved the bullet
Yeah.
and wanted.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Dude, I'm so goddamn proud of you
Yeah.
right now. Everybody, I just want to tell you, my name's Nate Bruni, and I love Jade Bruni. Oh.
You're funny.
So good.
Oh, wow. So towards the end of their trip, she felt him here. So she knew that she was on the right track, but then she stopped being able to feel him. So they were going in one direction, and they just had to kind of trust and go in that direction. And they were a little off, but the chance people found him. So we're all good. Now we're here.
Well, and I mean, that's usually a good way to go about it, is if you know you have to go in one direction and you're getting confirmation,
direction.
but then the confirmation goes away, it's probably a good idea to just keep going in that direction. You know, like, you keep on.
If I'm lost, I've learned to not move because it's happened
I
more
was just
than
like,
once.
I don't know if just keeping going is actually the right answer.
No.
And I'm thinking of
No.
my children, and I'm thinking of...
No.
Mm,
Except that one time
But-
that we didn't know where we were going in Mackinac, because we didn't have any service and we were just on that trail, and the boys were like, "We're lost," and we were like, "We think it's this way." And we just kept walking.
I think
What?
I actually took a video.
Yeah.
I would argue that Duchailu never got lost. It was just that she lost the confirmation of where they were. But, like, she was searching and en route. She was
Yes.
not lost and then trying to get bare. Like, she knew where to go. She just lost confirmation that that's where she needs to go.
She just had to hope and pray and
yeah.
all that
Hashtag
bullshit.
faith.
Yeah. And the good spirits guided her there.
Yep.
So it's all great.
Which, honest to God, should be more confirmation that Richard should pay attention to potential messages that Duchailu might be getting from other sources.
That was a lot. I can't handle. Don't do that no more.
Jake, can I be super honest with you? I need to be super honest with you. I didn't care for it either.
I just, normally I would just let it go, but I have to let you know.
My arms get
That's a
You
no.
tired.
gotta commit to
That's
the
a no
bit.
to me. That's a no for me, dog.
Respect. I mean, yeah, it might be bad, but you gotta get all the way through it to know for sure.
My arms
Really?
got tired halfway through that 5-second
You know
thing.
what it
Oh no,
reminded me
I do
of?
a ton of bad
It
shit.
reminded me of the
Yeah.
other day when I started to say something in like this. Richard takes her hand, asking why she
This is that commitment thing
Has-
you were talking about.
Yeah.
come.
Peek behind the curtain, ladies and
And
gentlemen.
Nate stopped me before I even finished his sentence the other day.
I don't have my headphones on right now, so that wasn't a punishment to me at all. I apologize to all of you for whatever it is that just sounded like. But yeah,
Don't
it
apologize
was
for me.
tough, but Jade saw it through. I did have to cut you off. That is hard to listen to.
Yeah, yeah. That's Stewie from Malcolm in the Middle, for anyone who hasn't heard that, and it is hard to hear.
By the way, props to that kid.
Yeah.
Holy shit, props.
Wow. So, Do says the BTM are real fucking happy in their homeland. It's perfect. It's fucking top notch. All due to Richard. They have the best schools. They got the best fucking produce. They got everything over there.
It's got to be awesome when a piece of prophecy like that comes true. Like, hey, our whole thing was there was going to be a one and turn us into the Bakatao Mana.
Oh, but no,
which
we don't
now we are.
No prophecy, my guy. That's not real.
I mean, I get it. Okay, Richard doesn't like it, but
it is.
I'm past it. I don't care what Richard's being shitty about. He's being a dick. At this point, if I'm due, I'm changing the tactic that I'm using to deal with Richard. I'm using blunt words now and anger. I'm past you ignoring me. And if you're going to keep ignoring me, there's going to be consequences.
But she does give him respect back, right? She's like, it's all due to you that we're here in this great place. Yeah.
That's what she is doing the right thing and being like, I see that you're being a dick and you are trying to poo-poo me away.
Do me away.
You do me away, but I don't know why that sounded French. But I'm here and we're trying to talk. Acknowledge me. What's the thing you say? Notice me, senpai? I don't want to claim.
I don't want to claim ownership of that phrase, but yes.
I don't know what that is, but I know I've heard you say it a few times.
Don't worry about it. Just say it a lot. There is a demographic of people that will enjoy it.
Look, I don't know what I'm getting into, Jade. I am going to search that term
Just
later.
say that.
That's coming up on the internet or whatever. Just so you know. I'm curious.
It's mostly harmless.
So
okay.
Dude's point, though, is that her people are safe, but Richard and his people are not. Yep, I can see.
Don't
face the keyboard.
It's
We're cool. I got it. I was like, no, guys. Jade moved on so smoothly. You did so good. Oh. It is time for a beer break.
Yeah, Nate needs to put more liquid in his mouth.
Okay, well, you know what? We're just gonna transition right into taking a little break for my husband's sake.
Thank you.
Micah Heron's sake. And we'll be back right after this.
What'd you say?
I don't know if I like it or not. We'll see.
This is the best we've ever done at anything.
And we're back.
Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Enthusiasm.
Richard takes her hand, asking why. Hey. Real talk.
Hey.
Why you come here? Do says the BTM are really, really fucking happy, but Richard, his people, not.
Well, he's on fire, so that's a problem.
No, it's not even the fire thing, Nate. It's not even the fire thing. You know what it is? There's a really big army on the way. It spans from horizon to horizon, like blades of grass in the plains. She can't even imagine the number. It's fucking bad.
All right, well, I guess thanks for coming, Du. If you don't have anything important, have a good one.
Yeah, you're really glad that I didn't fucking leave right away, aren't you?
Actually,
you fucking dickbag.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy that you mentioned that. So there's a what now?
Yeah. They didn't attack the BTM, but someday they are going to come back and swallow them whole, because these are the type of people who take everything.
Well, what we do know, if I'm assuming they're talking about the Imperial Order, is
Jagang's
that
army.
They are going from country to country. And while the Mud people are respected in the Midlands and represented in their government, which is very important, they're not like a country to themselves. They're just part of the wilds.
They are, but we were talking about the BTM.
No, I'm aware.
Oh, okay,
But what I'm saying is that's why the Imperial Order didn't fuck with the Bakatao Mana, right? Because they're not Galia. They're not Kelton.
Yeah.
They are a tribe of folks down here in the wilds that we'll get to later, but we're not fucking worried about.
Yes, you are right.
That's what
Okay, yep. So They pass them. They just pass them heading to the Midlands because they want the bigger piece of meat, right? Like you were talking about.
100%.
Richard thinks it's great. Rybish is positioned to guard the passes. More men can be sent that way. Yes, we are right in line.
It seems way too simplistic. Like, oh, they got an army? Oh, well, that's great news. I also have an army.
My army is they're going over there.
We can just be in front of the other army.
Yeah.
Guys, fucking problem solved.
The army-
no problem.
The army with magic users is coming?
Yeah.
You're not going to believe this. I already sent an army with magic users. So go get 'em.
Magic user. Oh my god.
The Sisters of Light with Rybish, right? They have been using that magic to keep track of the army, and now that's probably failing. They're probably a little bit blind. So this is really actually fucking great news.
It's actually
Yeah.
super good.
Confirmation.
So, yeah, thank you, dude. You
Yeah.
are helping us out. That's a big giant gift. He thanks her for it. So we are having progress here.
Yeah.
Good, Richard.
By all
Good job.
means,
Good
he's
boy.
turned it around. Attaboy.
Yes. As they passed the BTM homeland, they did come close. But the Blade Masters did make it painful when they brushed against them. They captured some leaders who revealed that they were not interested in the BTM now, but they would return, like she was saying. They are right now aiming to go somewhere with supplies, which makes sense. They're a big army.
Bingo. They're looking for resources.
Right, you can't stay in one place for
Yeah.
long. You need fucking food. You need a lot of shit.
We need stuff, guys.
Yeah. They so there's a couple different ways they could go about getting new supplies, right? They could pillage as they go through the Midlands.
Pillage. I mean, number one for invading army. Pillage.
Pillage.
Yeah.
Or they could find one of the areas that has a great stock, like Liffany, who has a ton of grain, Sandaria, something like that, has a ton of sheep. They got a bunch of fucking sheep, so you could just have meat all day. It'll be great. If they go to one of the places like that, they could supply their army for quite a long period of time, and then they wouldn't need to really fight for food. They don't have an urgent need for that, so they could pick their targets at will.
Right.
And the Midlands would be at their mercy. They couldn't really pick a place to stand against them.
They could set up their own base of operations, but fuck you, IO.
Exactly.
That's my thing.
Yes, exactly. IO.
Well, and it is something where, like, it's +1 for the Imperial Order because they have new supplies. It is also a -1 for Richard's army because
Yes.
they have lost access to those supplies now.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, it's not just +1. It's a full, 2-point swing.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
was gonna say
Maths,
point switch,
I don't
whatever
want to
the
do
term
the maths.
is.
We don't
We're
have
not
to do
doing
the
that.
maths.
We're not doing it right now.
Yeah, but yeah, it is hitting Richard's army twice as hard every time they capture any sort of resource because now it's one less resource for the other army.
Well, and like she was saying, you can't pick a place to take a stand because then at that point, that army can pick and choose where they want to take. So if they see your army is over in Gallia, we're just going to go over to Kelton and fuck with them instead. We don't need to go against wherever you are.
Yeah.
We can find the spot where we have the best tactical advantage.
Yep.
We don't have to do this like, what is it, Rohan? Right? Where they go deep into the keep, where they're all safe, tucked up into the mountain. And this is where we do war because this is where we know we can bunker down and win. Long game. If Jagang establishes a base
No, I hear what you're saying.
in the new world, then he can make that.
I was trying to remember my Lord of the Rings shit, and I
Yeah.
can't. My brain can't go
I'm
there.
shorting
I don't
on the
think that's
lore.
right.
Look,
I don't
here's
think
the
that's
thing.
right. But we got to go back.
Here's the thing. I don't know that that's right.
Yeah, so
I
we're
just
gonna-
know they hid deep in a keep. It was Helm's Deep,
Yes.
maybe? I don't fucking know.
You know what? That's what I'm saying.
Maybe my Lord of the Rings folks, podcastatt@gmail.com. Shoot me an email.
Yeah,
Let
don't
me
do
know
it
what
on
it
the
is I'm
Facebook.
talking about.
Don't blast us in public. Talk to us in private.
No. I trust the listeners of this show to set me right, and I respect them for it.
Yes.
That way, I don't sound like some noob out here who doesn't have backup.
Yeah.
So let me
Oh,
know.
yeah. So Richard does suggest using Rybish to keep the army busy while they evacuate people and supplies from these bigger places so Jagang can't get to them, right? Which even in my brain sounded like a wild idea. Like we're gonna siphon all the grain and sheep away before he can get them along with all the people. That's a giant task because they already listed off 3 or 4 places, and we're gonna just try and no, that seems wild.
you are not wrong. It is a good idea, though. Like, you should protect your resources if you can. Seems like a damn near impossible task to do that at this point, though.
Right. That just seems crazy to me to try, because there's not just one place. If it was one place, maybe. But you can't find 6 places and go, let's evacuate all the resources and siphon them all to Aidendrill.
Where are the people going to go?
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
It just doesn't, there's no answer for that.
Listen, people have put countries in other countries before. Didn't fucking go well.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you. That's why it just doesn't feel right. They start to try and strategize that, though, before Dew goes, hey, guys, the army is too fucking big to surprise and close in on, okay? It's like a big fucking rush of a river that's coming. You can't stand in front of it. It's going to wash you away. Rybish is also headed east, so they need to get word to him. They can get horses from him, too, and then send messengers to Dahara and all of these other places so they can get troops together. Mm-hmm. So the plan, right, they are making a plan to at least go see Rybish, and that's where we're going to start. We're not going to go straight to Aidendrill anymore. We're doing the thing.
I feel like this is the right move because now Emperor Richard has received new information on the operations of the other army, and that requires action now.
Yes.
For all the magic stuff that's going on, you're the magic against magic. That's also your responsibility, but you need to get the steel against steel going.
We need to get our players in place.
This is a
right?
2-prong attack. Yeah. You delegate first, and then you do the action while the delegations you've made are being carried out.
It's easier to play defense if you know what the offense is doing.
Fuck yes.
Yeah. This is great. This is fantastic.
Guys, we got something. The story can move forward now.
Richard does wish they can get to Aidendrill faster. And Caitlin's like, well, is that even the right move at this fucking point?
Sliff. Sorry.
Well, we know it's the chimes now, not the lurk. So do we even want to do what Zed told us to do? And Richard's like, I don't know if he's telling the truth, but I need my fucking sword. Yeah. So we're going. Okay? It's done. We're doing that.
We're going how, though? By means of which way?
Horses from Rybish, I think, is the plan.
Damn it. See, the thing that Zed lied to him, and that whole thing is bullshit, would seriously make me reconsider just using the sliff. Like, dude, I know Zed said the thing, but he was also incentivizing you not doing that. So maybe that was part of the bullshit, and you should just go because you can do it fast.
I think maybe talk to the sliff because she's a person.
Anybody inside you? Any weird stuff going on? You hearing any voices that aren't mine since you've been asleep?
Do you think that you're dying?
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
It's almost like lying's
shit.
It's almost like lying's a bad idea. Like, I know this is coming out of left field right now, but it's almost like lying to people who you should trust. Lying to someone who you rely on for advice. Why?
I don't get it.
Why? I digress.
Well,
whatever.
Richard turns at this point to ask Dew about the army that's on its way north, okay? Mm-hmm. And she says, I didn't say they went north, motherfucker.
Yeah, assumptions are bad.
Yeah. He goes, everyone's like, what? They had to have gone north. She says, no, they went past on the south side, by the shore of the water, going west. Mm-hmm. She is sure. Because they're like, are you positive? That doesn't make any sense. She's like, we fucking watched them, and I know my directions, you assholes. Some men of rank also told us that Richard Rahl is the person that they're after, and that's why she knew to come here and fucking warn him.
Mm-hmm. And the reason that them going west is important is because that means they're headed towards Westland, correct? They're not necessarily going straight for Aidendrill. They're taking the whole new world and sweeping left along the coast of the water and then taking everything all the way up to probably Dahara last.
We'll get to where exactly they're going first in just a second here.
Okay.
Richard has frustrated Jagang's plans. That's why they're going after him. He suggests that maybe the fire in Dew's vision is the anger of these people, right? Maybe it's their hatred after him. And she's like, maybe. Okay, maybe.
We know that sometimes prophecy is interpreted the wrong way. Maybe this is a valid interpretation of it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Caitlin at this point snatches Dew's sleeve like a fucking asshole.
Does it again. She did it again.
And asks where these people are going. All that Dew knows is that they are following the shoreline with the ocean. They didn't know the name of the place that they're going, just that it's far to the west and has vast supplies of food. Caitlin is instantly fucking upset. And Richard realizes that Rybish is going in the wrong direction. So that's what he thinks she's upset about.
Totally wrong direction.
Yeah.
And if I were to do it, I'd be like, and furthermore, if you ever fucking grab me in that way, with all due respect, Mother Confessor, I will slap you in the mouth.
Seriously.
I am not a child. Fucking stop. Now that that's settled, we can continue this conversation like adults.
You want me to grab you? What
you
if I
grab me by the ear? I am punching you before I even consider who you are. Fuck you.
What if I grabbed you in any of the ways I've been grabbed in the last 2 chapters?
Look,
Seriously.
just don't grab people.
Seriously.
Just don't grab people. Maybe. I don't know. Sounds crazy.
Caitlin
Maybe
at
I'm
this
weird.
point looks to the west. She says the army is going to the breadbasket of the Midlands. That's what she's concerned about. She did not expect Jagang to go that far out of the way. But Richard is happy because at least they know that they're going to Tuscala. And it buys them some time, right? This isn't bad. It's not all bad.
We can defend the more populated areas. We can defend the People's Palace now. We can defend, some important things because, yeah, they're sticking to the coast. We can still kind of regroup if we need to. We're good.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it's not good that they're attacking a place in the Midlands, but, yeah.
But Caitlin's worried because it's the breadbasket. It's the Narif Valley, right? We know that this is a big fucking... They send grain to everywhere in the Midlands. So it's a big get for the fucking IO.
On top of all of the other stuff we know that's going on there with magic failing and Zed's explanation of just the wildlife in that area. Fuck, maybe that grain is now contaminated with some sort of poison because that's coming off the water that's running down. Like, it's all tied in. We know
Yes.
there are several layers of problems kicking off right there in that valley.
Right.
Yeah.
Potentially. And Caitlin, at this point, looks at Richard and goes, hey, Tuscala was the old name. It's changed multiple times, right? But now it's called Andereth.
Andereth.
And Richard is like, why? Why is it called Andereth? Huh? And she goes, well, one of the original founders was named Ander. Right? Not a big, like normal. That's normal shit. And Richard at that point starts tingling. Because that was the name of the mountain, Joseph Ander. We all know this.
We all knew
Nicknamed
this.
them out. Yeah, the guy
Yeah.
from Game of Thrones. That's incredible.
And he's the one that was sent to deal with the chimes. So Richard...
Yeah, he should. He's fucking huge. Have you seen that guy? Good for him.
So Richard is, he is suddenly having some type of realization that there's a connection here with everything that's going on. And Jagang's going towards a very important place.
Too many coincidences.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I like this version of the Seeker of Truth, Richard. This is Richard being a detective and putting clues together using information he's gathered. This is great. I like this. Disappointed in how he's acted up until this point. Right now, love this.
This is
love
kinda
problem solver Richard.
the Batman version of Richard, where it's like, yeah, remember, guys, Batman is like smart as fuck and a detective. That's half of what makes him cool.
He's not just good at fighting. He's
Right.
also a master detective.
Like, I get the idealistic half of Richard in these last couple of chapters where he's really being an ass and stepping on a lot of toes. That is the side of Richard that I don't like and I don't look up to as a person who looks up to heroes. But then there's the other half of Richard who can be just logical and see some things for what they are without that idealistic bent to it. And that makes it fucking cool because Batman makes connections that you don't see until he's like, yo, check this out. Boom.
But Batman is also not good socially and is kind of a dickbag. So I guess it all lines
Bruce
up.
Wayne, he has to be an abrasive character.
I guess it all lines up.
It all fucking lines up, guys. You heard it here first. Richard Rahl is Batman. So
And that's
do
today's
with that what you will.
wizard note and prophecy. So,
Or is he the Joker?
Nope, we're not doing that.
We digress.
So that's our truth. We would love to hear yours. Write to us in your journey books to podcastatt@gmail.com or find us on any of our social media.
Glug.
If you would like to support this podcast and hear some more of these hilarious people, go find us over on patreon.com/podcastatt, where every tier is a happy tier. Thank you all for listening. That's all for us, friends.
We'll see you real soon.
Fuck her off till next time.
Bye!
Or whatever.
Or whatever.